Your favorite IDE just got a funeral date. JetBrains shipped Junie to general availability across every one of their editors in May 2025. And instead of proving the old guard still has fight left, in my analysis it proved the exact opposite. It is an admission letter disguised as a product launch. Here is what actually happened. The villain in this story is not JetBrains the company. It is the architecture. IntelliJ, PyCharm, WebStorm, all of them sit on a monolithic Java-based platform that was designed in an era when the smartest thing your editor did was autocomplete a method name. That platform indexes your entire project into local memory, builds abstract syntax trees, and runs inspections on a single-threaded event loop that already chokes on large TypeScript monorepos. Now JetBrains bolted an agentic AI layer on top of that. Junie can supposedly read your codebase, plan multi-file changes, and execute them autonomously. Sounds great in a press release. In practice, you are routing inference calls through a runtime that was never built for real-time token streaming. And the result appears to be latency that makes the experience feel like you are coding through wet cement. Let me give you 3 technical reasons this matters. First, context window utilization. Cursor was built from scratch around the idea that your editor is a context assembly machine. Every keystroke, every open tab, every recent terminal output gets packed into a retrieval-augmented generation pipeline that feeds the model exactly the right slices of your codebase at inference time. JetBrains is retrofitting this onto an indexing system designed for static analysis, not for dynamic prompt construction. The RAG layer appears to be an afterthought grafted onto a pipeline that speaks a completely different language. Second, streaming latency. In a native AI IDE, the model response streams directly into the editor buffer with sub-100 millisecond first token latency because the rendering pipeline was designed for it. In the JetBrains stack, every streamed token has to pass through the platform's own document model locking mechanism, the same write-lock system that handles refactors and inspections. Early user reports from the Junie GA rollout suggest visible stutter on multi-file agentic edits. That is not a bug. That is an architecture screaming under a load it was never meant to carry. Third, fine-tuning feedback loops. Cursor and tools like Windsurf have been collecting inline acceptance and rejection signals from millions of completions for over a year, feeding that data back into adapter layers and RLHF loops that make the model better at code generation inside their specific editor context. JetBrains is starting that flywheel now in May 2025 with Junie GA as the starting line. In the world of model improvement compounding, 18 months late is not fashionably late. It is potentially a death sentence for parity. If you can see where this is heading and you want someone saying it out loud every week, subscribe. The comfortable lies about your toolchain are not going to debunk themselves. Now here is the counterargument, and it is a strong one. JetBrains has the deepest language-aware intelligence in the business. Their semantic understanding of Java, Kotlin, and Python is unmatched. No AI-native IDE comes close to their refactoring precision or their inspection depth. That is true today, but here is why it does not save them. The value of handcrafted static analysis collapses the moment a foundation model can infer the same relationships from raw context and do it across every language simultaneously without language-specific plugins. We are not there yet, but the gap closes with every model generation, and every cursor update ships with a better retrieval pipeline that makes brute force semantic understanding less necessary. JetBrains is defending a moat that is evaporating in real time. So here is where we land. Cursor was never the destination. It was the gateway drug that taught an entire generation of developers what it feels like when the AI is not a sidebar widget, but the actual skeleton of the editing experience. JetBrains launching Junie GA does not change the trajectory. It confirms it. The legacy IDE is a dead man walking, and bolting an agent onto a corpse does not make it alive. It makes it a puppet. So tell me honestly, are you staying on JetBrains because the tools are genuinely better, or because rebuilding your muscle memory terrifies you?